Alright, what I'm doing today is I'm going to install a ceramic tile countertop, and the reason I'm doing that is the other one, which I didn't get a video of, is the laminate's peeling on it, and I had a local bid and they wanted $2,600 for the cheapest laminate countertop. Part of the reason is because of these windows here. It would require a custom cut and lamination job on the backsplash. You can see where the old backsplash was, where that white line's at. And so for less than, or right around $400, I can go ahead and install a ceramic countertop. Most of my supplies came from Home Depot. They were clearance sale, and so yeah, right around 400 bucks. I'm going to do this installation. Now the base here, this is what's called a particle board. It's not the best grade of particle board, but it really doesn't have to be, just for the simple fact that when I'm done with the grout that I'm using and the waterproof, or as close to waterproof as you can get, adhesive, and doing a good grout job, this thing will be watertight, and you don't have to worry about water infiltration and messing with your particle board. This is basically just a standard laminate or underlayment particle board. It's 3/4 inches, as you can see. I've doubled it up. I got this for about $20 a sheet. It took me 2 sheets to do this. It's about 50 square feet. As you can see, I've already got the sink insert cut out for it. When you do this, you want to make sure that you look at your countertops, and basically all you have is one ply here in the middle, and then underneath it you've got strips that sit on top of the counter, or the cabinets underneath, and that gives you your 1.5 inches. But with me doing it, I went ahead and did a full double sheet, and that way you got really good integrity all the way across in both directions. And but when you do this, when you cut your sink out, most of your sink clips are only good for your 3/4 inch depth or thickness. So what I did is, the first sheet I laid down, I went ahead and cut it 1 inch larger in either direction here, not necessarily on the front and the back, but on the sides here where your sink's going to fit in, and your clips are going to come down, connect to your sink, and you're going to screw and put tension under here. So what I did is I cut these 1 inch larger on either side like this, and that will give me, I can just use standard clips. Now they do make longer clips that'll bridge that, but I figure, what the hell, I'm doing this, so I'll just reuse the clips that I've got and save a little bit of money. All I had to do was cut 1 inch further back on this bottom piece here. So like I said, I'm going to do a ceramic tile. For the edges, I'm going to do the edges first, and the most complicated part of doing the edges is going to be getting this 45-degree cut right here. Now you could let me grab another one. You could put it like this and put a when you put your tile in there, it'll fit in there. I like it, looks cleaner if you can get a 45-degree cut. Excuse me, let me get my camera on this. If you can get a 45-degree cut on either one and meet them up in the center like you would a piece of trim, that's going to be the most complicated part of doing this. And the outside corners, the outside 90s, you get one of these pieces here. Sorry, I'm concentrating on 2 things, so I know my camera might not be catching all this. I'll try to do better. But you get these outside corners here. Now what these are called chair rail tile, and they say it's 2 by 6, 6 inches across, and you got a 2-inch depth here. I think it's a little bit more than 2 inches. We can measure that real quick. No, yeah, it's 2 inches. And what that's going to do is you got an 1.5 inch thickness and a 2-inch depth here. So what I'm going to wind up having to do is I'm going to have to cut and I did a 1/2 inch overhang on the front of my cabinets here. Get the camera back on this. Did a 1/2 inch overhang here, and so I've got a 1/2 inch excess on the tile here, so I'm going to cut filler strips. Probably just use plywood, because once you start cutting this stuff down to your thinner dimensions and whatnot, it doesn't hold together worth a damn. So what I'm going to do is I'll take probably 1/2 inch plywood and cut 1/2 inch strips, and I'll run the strips underneath there. Oops, don't want to do that. So that I can fill that in, and you know, it's a matter of choice. You could probably do it without that, but the thing that you're going to run into is when you start grouting these, you know, you got your space there, and you start grouting it, your grout is going to just basically start falling through that crack unless you're really careful. And being a countertop, you know, it's best just to go ahead and do that strip down there. That way you get a full adhesion all the way across the face of this tile, and it just makes it stronger. You don't have a kid coming over here and pulling on it like this and possibly pulling these off, even though I will glue them really well. That's just my personal opinion. Another thing I did is I rounded these corners off. I gave them a little bit of radius so that my corner will fit on there a little bit better. Otherwise it'll sit there and rock back and forth more than it's already doing. I could probably do a little bit more, but I'm just going to leave it like that. And also I chamfered. I just used a saber saw or a jigsaw, whatever you want to call it. One of these. I know my workspace is a mess, but just used one of these, you know, just a standard D.I.Y. And I turned my my cutting support table, or whatever you want to call it, I turned it to a 45. It doesn't have to be perfect. All you got to do is knock this edge off. I mean, if you got time and patience, you could probably get some 60 grit sandpaper and do the same thing. But what that does is that when you put these tiles on like this, it lets it sit better. I should have taken a picture of it prior to doing this, but you can see it right there, and it's going to sit flatter against the face of the countertop here and on the top here. You know, give you better adhesion. Same principle as this corner here with the corner pieces. This really didn't want to sit right unless you go ahead and chamfer that edge down, and that's just going to give you better adhesion and better support for that. And like I said, as you can see, another shot, I'm going to need to put a 1/2 inch strip down there. I did leave an overhang on this. I think it's about 1 inch. I went a little bit further on this for the overhang, but basically that's it. What I'll do is make another video. I'm not gonna sit here and go through all the processes and whatnot. This is just my project. This place is gonna go up for sale. It used to be a rental property, and unfortunately some of the laminate had come off the previous countertop, and my renters decided it'd be fun to go ahead and just break it off. And so that's why I'm gonna go ahead and install a ceramic tile. Save money. It'll look nice. It'll be more durable than a laminate countertop. You know, a lot of people, they don't understand what a cutting board is for and whatnot. And I've put brand new laminate countertops in some of my apartments, and man, it ain't a year later and it looks like it's a butcher block. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this in ceramic. I've done them before. They turned out nice. So I'll post another video once I start laying tile and show it in stages. Like I said, I'm not going to go through and show every single detail of how I did this and this and this. I mean, ceramic tile is not rocket science. It's fairly straightforward and easy. So until then, I'm signing off. Thanks for watching.